and welcome. I'm John, and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back on this very blistery cold morning. This is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. That's how cold it is. This is off the cuff video, guys. So for everyone that's new, what does that mean? I record and I upload. There is no fancy intro symbol. You don't see no editing skills. If there's noise that goes on outside, I can't control that. I do have a transition button, so if it gets too much, I can, stop filming and then resume. Just before I started filming, there was a cow out there making the strangest of noises, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" it's that early morning at the moment. The reason I'm doing this early morning is because I've still got lots of stuff to do with mobile, which I'll get onto in a minute, and I've got some stuff to do in here later on, which I'll get onto in a minute as well. This is essentially, for everyone that's new, questions and answers, Q&A, weekly Q&A. You ask me questions, I answer. It's primarily 99% model focused, and it's primarily GW stuff, even though those of you that saw yesterday's video know that I have MCP now, Marvel Crisis Protocol, so I'm very eager to start doing a few bits on that as well. But my love is with 40k and fantasy and all that sort of stuff. But I do like the idea of that. Sometimes there's terrain questions that I get asked, so instead of me doing a Q&A for terrain questions, I just fold it into the weekly Wednesday. Sometimes there's information about myself and what's going on and around the workshop. Right. Also to remind you, I'm still doing commission Let's Builds, painting and custom terrain pieces. What this means is, Let's Builds, if you haven't seen a Let's Build video, go check one out. I basically build kits, model kits, show you how to make them as a visual reference. Now, some people, why would people want this service? Some people don't have the time, the space, or they're not confident enough to do it. Or if they are confident and have the time and have the space, they have little hands around, or they have nosy cats, or something that could disrupt what they're doing. Commission painting. There's 3 stages I can take it to. Battle ready, where it's ready to go on the bat table and work away. Battle ready, but then you take it and you're doing the washes and you're doing dry brushing and edge highlighting, all that sort of stuff. Or beyond battle ready. Now, anyone that's seen, if you haven't seen one of my painting videos, go and check them out, because you'll understand where I'm talking about. And custom terrain pieces, go check out the terrain video. It's that easy. That's kind of a bit weird. With that said, the terrain piece that I'm working on is still sitting there. I've just been so flat out with the old mobile. All the steel's gone, all the aluminium's gone. My good friend Ra came up last Saturday and cut all the base up for me. It was absolutely fantastic. Thank you, brother. Well done. I was actually in work when he done it. Saved me so much heartache, so much headache. It's just the timber now. There's all the timber there, and so I'm burning the timber bit by bit, and the rest of the timber that's rubbish. I'm putting to the skip. I wanted to have that finished by Monday, but there's probably another today, or should be, to see the back of it. And then there's all the cinder blocks to move around and move it from where it is to where I'm going to put my veggie area. I can't even set the veggie area up yet, because there's going to be a digger coming in next week to level the ground off where the mobile was. So it's still a little bit go out there, even though I wanted this week to be in here. I can't help that, unfortunately. And the weather wasn't great because it kept raining for 2 or 3 days. So, and part of the ground out there is like a slosh pit where the Jeep came in to try and pull the trailer out in the first place, and it ripped the ground up, which is, it happens. And then it rained, and it's just a slosh pit. So it's slow going, but it should be done today. Okay, so I went to I went to Dublin on Sunday with the aim to get the Chaos Codex. Sorry, Chaos Demon Codex. And I'll tell you what, they were ransacked. When I say ransacked, I don't mean they were robbed. I mean people went in there and they were just buying everything. Of course, when I got in there, I was like, of course it's Christmas. It's big on to Christmas. Of course it's going to be. So the first thing I wanted was the Death Guard Christmas box, the Thousand Sun Christmas box, and the Sister Sororitas Christmas box, because they're great value. Nope, they don't have any. You have to get it online, and even online they're sold out. There's only a few of them left. Like, not the ones that I want. Just I think there's the Imperial Fist one, there's the Admech one. I think that's about it, which is very disappointing. But I said, okie dokie. Demon Codex. No Demon Codex. None in stock. I was like, oh, dearie me. So that already put the kibosh on having a battle report this week, because I can't have battle report if I don't have with the demons, if I don't have a Demon Codex. And that's my own fault. I should have got it weeks ago, but I wasn't ready with the models then, and now the models are actually in full swing. You know, because of that, that's one of the reasons why I didn't do a 12-hour painting video on Monday. I was going to do a 12-hour painting video with all the demon stuff, get them all done and dusted and ready for the battle report. But when there's no codex, I just sort of lost a bit of motivation to do that. I don't like doing the 12-hour painting videos. I don't like them, but I do like them. I don't like them because it's very tiring. But I do like them because at the end, you either got a shed load of models painted, or you've got lots of models painted and these guys almost finished. So you could be talking nearly 1,000 points painted in a day. So that's why I like it, but I don't like it because it is very tiring. So here's what happened. I was looking around. I went to pick up the Eldari Codex, and I was like, no, I don't have 1,000 points of Eldari painted yet. I don't even think I have 1,000 points of Eldari here. Probably close to. So I picked up the Tyranid Codex. I don't even have any Tyranid models, so I don't know why I picked up the Tyranid Codex. So anyway, when I got home, so I got sort of a bit of a like daze, because the young lad in the shop, he's trying to be helpful. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to knock that, but he was in my ear just talking about model stuff, and I was like, you know, usually that's fine, but it was a Sunday. I wanted to get into Dublin, out Dublin, because I wasn't too sure of the buses, and I got caught in the rain waiting for the bus, and I was cold, and I was like not wet, but I was damp. And Dublin was absolutely packed, because it's building up for Christmas, and I didn't even think about that. So I just didn't really want to be spoken to. I just wanted to, if I wanted something, I'll ask you, you point me direction, I'll get it. So everything went sort of like a haze. And then when I got home, I realised I actually picked up the Tyranid Combat Patrol. So that's not the end of the world. And then I thought about it, and I thought, well, that means 10th edition is going to be Space Marine Tyranids, so I've already got the Codex. There'll be a new Codex out, but I'll have an idea of what things can be armed with, and I can start building on them now, because I do like that army. Start building them now, so that when 10th comes out and I get that, I've already got a nice size force. Add that to its even bigger force. That was subconsciously the idea, but I just sort of in the haze. I didn't, you know. But with that, I should have picked up the Eldari Codex anyway, because I picked up a box of Dark Reapers, so I should have picked up the Eldari Codex. But anyway, yeah, that was the gist of my logistical nightmare with the Demon Codex. And then because I didn't have that, because I didn't have it in stock, Alex was offered a few days work, so he said, "Yeah, take it. Money's money, you can't turn it down." So there's going to be no battle report this week, unfortunately. So actually, someone said to me with the battle reports, even if you have to use Necrons and Space Marines, it's not the end of the world. Because if I go to a Wargaming club and I'm playing the same person every week, chances are they're going to have the same army, or the same faction, but maybe different modules in their army that week, from week to week. Or if you're you're playing with 2 or 3 guys, I say guys or girls, 2 or 3 people, and they have their own factions, or one's Tau, one's Tyranids, one's Chaos, your Space Marines or whatever. You're going to have the same sort of armies every week. It's not going to be, oh, this week I'm not going to be Tau, I'm going to bring Dark Elder. Unless they have the 2 armies, that's the way it's going to be. So just, I was told not to panic too much about that. Just do battle reports if you want to, but it's just timing again. So now, what gave you the idea for the Bloodletters paint job? I wanted to have them look like they've got raw energy coming from them. Yeah, but I wanted the ones on foot to look like they haven't earned their place yet. They're just fresh. They haven't earned their place. So, they're going into combat and just trying to earn their place. So the ones that I painted over on the Juggernauts are all red. They've earned their place. That's why they've done it in such a way that they've actually been blessed with the Juggernauts to go to battle and bring war to the enemy. That's the idea from them. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to test out how the contrast paint would look. Not particularly that blue, but just a contrast paint would look with the dry brush over the top. I'm thinking of the horrors. But also those Bloodletters, the plastic ones, I won't be getting any more of those. If someone said to me there's a box of them, grand fantastic, there's a box of them. I'll work away slowly and get them put together and painted up. But I will not go and buy any more of those. I don't actually like those. Now the models when they first come out are fantastic. I just don't like the sculpts now. Or the D-mats, again, they were fantastic when they came out. But for me, the horrors stole the show first of all. Out of the four infantry demons. Then when I put the plague bearers together, apart from the sculpts are absolutely fantastic, the location of the sprue just set the bar so high for me because it's so easy to build. So easy to build. I literally took the sprues into the house. This is the other day. No instructions, just worked away because it was that simple. I didn't have to do anything. Didn't have to worry about anything. And I hopefully that they can do that with the Bloodletters and the Demonets in 10th edition when they have a resculpt, because the Bloodletters, I think they're 15 years old. Their Demonets would be the same because they came out at the same time. 15 years old. That's wow. That's old. Anyway, that's what gave me the idea to do that, because I wanted to, if it didn't look great, I've got another unit of 10 and I just do the same sort of thing. So they're Bloodletters, but they don't look great. But I think they come out pretty well actually. So I'm very pleased with them. I wasn't sure about their teeth. That's the only thing, but I'm saying this. And that's the thing as well, I've noticed with the sculpts, with the older sculpts, they're, like I said, the Bloodletters and Demonets, there's not that much detail on them. There's enough. But they are very, not difficult to paint, but they're just, when you start painting the newer stuff, and you go back to painting something like that, it's like, oh, this is very tiny, very small. This is, but there's not much difference in the height or anything like that. It just feels that way. You go back to the lead models, and they're too busy with detail, too busy with stuff, and they're an absolute nightmare to paint. But I'm glad I don't have many of them. When they're painted to look great, they're fantastic, and everything else. So I know, I'm moving on now, sorry guys. I'm absolutely frozen. It's freezing in here. Where are we? Great, you got Marvel Crisis Protocol. Are you going to branch off into other game systems like Star Wars Legion? Now see, I was actually looking at that when I was in Dublin. I was actually in Gamers World. I was actually looking at that. And I was looking at Hero Quest, which is an amazing game. But to answer your question, before I start rubbing on about Hero Quest, I like Star Wars Legion, but with the Star Wars games, for me, there's so many different games systems. You got the one with the ships, you got the Legion, you got this one. You got it's a little bit confusing for me at the moment because I'm just looking at it from the outside. But I do like that. I do like the that sort of. I do like Star Wars universe, and I do like that game system. The Legion, I think you're talking about. Yeah, I think if I'm right, that's what I like. But for me, I'm not going to jump into that too yet. That yet. I want to get 1,000 points of each faction for 40k. Yeah, then I can just add things here and there. I want to get about 20 Marvel Crisis Protocol Heroes bad guys. There's 10 in the box there, and I've got Mr. Sinister, so that's 11. So there's only another 9. Then I can start looking at, another Star Wars Legion or something like that. But I was looking at, what caught my eye on Facebook. I'm sure it's Facebook. I saw it. Was the He-Man game. For those of you who don't know about the He-Man game, I'm quite interested in that. For those of you that don't, check it out. He-Man Masters Universe. It looks pretty good. You have a little board, some little bits of terrain, and you have your heroes. And it's a little bit like, I'd imagine it's a little bit like a Warcry or something, but it's with He-Man and Skeletor and bad guys. I like that. I was looking at the Hero Quest, and I tell you what, the sculpts on it are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Until I looked at the price, €150. I was like, don't get me wrong, the sculpts are fantastic. But I remember when that game first came out and it was like £30. It might even been less than that. But anyway, the sculpts are fantastic. And there's 3 add-ons, I think, and there's the other little boxes where you have individual heroes and stuff. But anyway, no riveting on about that. Now, what factions do you have that are ready for some games? Now, when you say ready, I'm presuming painted, because I don't want to play games with unpainted models. I did a long time ago, but I don't want to do that anymore. I've got Chaos Space Marines with stuff that I've got down there to do less builds on. There's super paints. Eldari, I would say that's close to 1,000 points with what I have down there as well. Again, just need to be painted. That's it at the moment. The Sisters coming along nicely. The Admechs coming along nicely. The Tyrannies will be coming along nicely. There will be. That's it for the minute. But I do want to get 1,000 points of everything. Get everything up to 1,000 points, then start moving. Not even I'll move this faction to 1,500 points. Just go, okay, this faction I'm going to get this faction I'm going to get that, and it could be 100 points added to this one, 200 added to every month or something, just something like that. Because I want to have 1,000 points of everything, so we can just do battle reports with different factions and different. I can just draw an army out of the hat and say this is the army that I'm going to be using for tomorrow's battle report, and then go off and do an army list, and away we go. That's what I want to do, because then that's very unique to the war game, because you don't know what I'm going to be playing with is to draw like that. That was my idea anyway, but it's just getting there at the moment. And the problem I have is it's just time. I don't have enough time between trying to sort that out outside full-time work. I'm on holiday this week, but full-time work and the little one. It's and then the weather. It's absolutely freezing in here. Well, it's not. It's cold in here, but it's freezing out there. It's because Sunday's even up. Yeah, as soon as the sun comes up, it'll start warming up a little bit. But anyway, I just rabbit on too much, guys. If you're new to the channel, I do apologise about that. Right, 3D printer going forward. I'm going to get a 3D printer and a 3D scanner in the January sales. That's what I'm looking for. Even if they're not on sale in January, I will need a PC to run it on anyway. But the PC will be in the sales. So either way, I'm going to win. Now, why am I doing this? The 3D printer isn't a necessity for our hobby, but it's a very handy tool. It's a very handy tool to have. What I want a 3D printer for, and this is where you guys can tell me, because I know there's two different types. There's the resin, liquid resin, and there's the filament ones. Liquid resin is probably better for models, and the filament ones are better for terrain pieces. I understand that. But what I want you guys to let me know, and please let me know, what's the best ones to get? What ones do you recommend? Now, I'm talking in terms of, not so much in terms of cost, but I'm talking in terms of noise, storage, like where can I store it? Does it take up massive space or a little space? Fumes, does it give off much fumes? Do I need to put like something around it to vacuum out the fumes? Durability, like if I had it out here this time of year, it wouldn't be viable, but from February time onwards, or April time onwards, you can have it out here, you know, something like that. If there's no fumes, then I can have it in the house. If there is fumes, then it's best to have it out here. But I don't want to be only printing in certain months of the year. I know some people do that, and you know, fair play to you guys. Now, why do I want one of each? But why do I want one of each? Oh, the model one I was thinking of, the Mars Pro. If anyone has that, you know, let me know some comments below. If anyone has a different one to print models on and it's, you know, better, then just let me know. Because there are lots of different Patreons you can join that give you access to 3D print loads of fantastic models. That can be proxies for models in games, or, you know, don't have to be. But for me, the game that I'm working on, that I will be going back to working on, there are heaps of models that I see on there that I can print and use in the game. Not only that, Alex actually has 3D graphics design diploma. So he can do all of that on the computer. He can design stuff, he can take a shape and just put it and just turn it into whatever it needs to be turned into, because he's very clued up with that. So that's, you know, a big bonus. So I want to be able to print models to go into that game. So if I want a specific type of character, I can then design it on there with his help at first, and then by myself, and 3D print it, put it on there. I can then get him to design some stuff. So it's not just one person's artistic view, it's someone else doing stuff as well. So it's different to what I've done. But with the filament one to print the terrain, what I'm thinking is, if this is going forward now, I will make something on the channel. Okay, if it's not over the top massive and it's nice size, I will 3D scan it and then 3D print it and then set it on the website. Now, when I say this, excuse me, I'm talking if you went and bought something in the shop and it would cost you 60 or 70 quid, and I make something similar, not the same, but very similar, and I'm selling it for 10, 15 quid plus post and packaging, there's a big difference. You know, there's a big difference. That's my idea. That's been in my mind for a little while now, and now I'm in the position where I can actually implement that and do that. And even if I don't do that, or even if I do that and it doesn't take off, to have the scanner, I can still make stuff. I can make stuff out of paper and card. scan it, and then print it in resin. You know, so take it, say, weak flimsy material and make it into something really solid and strong, which is nice. I can make something simple and then scan that and then just 3D print it continuously. So I have, you know, I'm talking like barrels, for example, the ones that I made out of the little room pools, or brick walls, or, you know, wire fencing, or something like that. You know, it's just, there's so much that can be done with it. It's a very useful tool. Yeah, but you guys let me know what you think. Let me know about, you know, 3D printers and stuff, and you know, like I said before, it's best to get as much knowledge, as much information about subject matter as possible before you make a decision. That's what I'm asking you guys for now. I'm asking you questions. Yeah, but you let me know about the 3D printers, and, you know, which one's better and which one, you know. And it also, just to comment below if you think that's a great idea and you'd be interested in some of that, because I've made some crazy stuff, guys, some crazy stuff that could be 3D printed. Even the 18-inch herdstone that I made, that could be scanned onto a computer and it could be snipped and come in 2 parts, and you just quit. There's, as Alex said to me, there's loads of ways to do things. But anyway, I'm going to bring you down and show you the vote, because I've rabbited on too much now, and I tell you guys are going to be blown away. And there is actually, there's a lot of things over there to glue and put together. Alex wants me to put together the Contemptor Dreadnought, and I'm more interested in putting the Catan Shard of, oh no, I'm not telling you what it is, but there's a lot of things to build. Anyway, I'm going to bring you down and show you the vote, and then we'll go from there. Right, let's start with this box. So there is Honey Magies, there is Die Avengers, there is the first sister, the Canoness. We have Ripper Jackson there. That's that young lady there. We have Mr. Ra. We have the Engine Seer. We have the Headless Man who's got his head back. That's the Chronomancer, sorry guys. We have the Blade Guard Veterans, the Eradicators. We have the Captain with the sword, the shield. We have the Chaos Knight. We have the Ancient Interminator armor. We won't worry about the Lieutenant. Right, this is the one that everyone wants. We have the Giant. We have the Despoiler. We have Swooping Hawks. We have the Low-Cost Heavy Destroyer. There's a Space Marine Librarian. There's a Celestial Chaos Sorcerer. We have the Captain there, which is this lad. We have an Apothecary. We have another Librarian. We have a Blade Guard Veteran Ancient. We have a Chaplain. We have Zodward Woodslugger, which is this dude right here, the Orc. And we have another Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle. I nearly flipped the camera without even stopping filming. I don't know, it's that cold, I'm not functioning properly. I do have Demonettes and Plague Bearers ready to go, but I might just do them as a sneaky video, you know, one day this week, because they're not, the Plague Bearers not going to take me long to do. Maybe an hour and a half, and the whole lot be done. You know, they're not that difficult at all. But remember about them. We also, there's a wild card. So anyone else vote on the wild card? Vote on that. The wild card will be shown if it wins. I think there's already quite a lot of food for thought there, which is what I wanted. I wanted you guys to be like, what we're going to vote on. And 3 or 4 things getting votes, because there's just so much there. How do you do your votes? Just chuck a comment below on this video. This is for everyone that's new. Chuck a comment below on this video to say I vote for XYZ. Okay, you don't have to vote for one thing. You can vote for 2 or 3 things, 5 things, whatever you want. And don't say I vote for everything, because it doesn't. Yeah. You're voting. I will count the votes on Friday midday this week, because I'm off. And whoever has the most votes, that'll start getting painted. And the reason I do that on Friday is because sometimes I'm working Sunday, sometimes I'm working Monday, sometimes I'm working both days. So if I look at the race on a Friday, if it needs to be undercoated, it needs to be gravelled, I can do all that on the Friday. The Saturday do a little bit of work on it. Sunday do a little bit more work in the afternoon. Then Monday finish it off. This coming week, next week I'm actually off for Monday, so it's actually brilliant. So I can just really focus on what I need to do, but I still want to get, not be swamped with it. But anyway, guys, I've rambled on for over half an hour now, and I'm absolutely frozen. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything, because it costs you nothing, but it helps the channel grow in a massive, massive way. And for everyone that's new that's joined the channel, thank you guys. All my regulars, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.